appreciate y'all. As always, we give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ right off the bat. Guys, you know, this is what, the third place we've been today? This is number 3. Great crowd, great energy, and folks are ready for something different here in this state. You know, we've had a great legislature that's done great things since 2010. And that legislature has been working hard. They've been doing it under difficult circumstances. Because we've got a governor that's been in trouble. Guys, the guy that's running against me, let's just go ahead and call him what he is. He is lying Josh Stein. That's what he does. And when he's not lying, he's only telling half the truth.
That's right.
He puts words on the screen and cuts them off. He put words on the screen of mine and said something about keeping your skirt down, but he didn't put the last part of that where I said, or keep your pants up. He cut that part off. But that's what he does. That's what he does. He's got a commercial about my daycare center. But now listen to this. He's got images in the commercial that are not my daycare. And he's got pictures of me to make it look like it's bugshots. But it's just pictures of me. And then he's got people in the commercial that don't even know me and have never set foot in the wonderful daycare that my wife and I operate. Now I want you to think about how dishonest that is.
That's a good
I want you to think about who this is the person that you're supposed to be able to trust as the top law enforcement officer of the state.
Yeah.
And he is that dishonest. Where do you run to when you have problems and the people you're supposed to trust are the dirtiest people in the state? And as a candidate for governor, imagine what he will actually do as governor. He was in the legislature, folks. You think about this. The reason he wants to talk about Facebook, the reason why he wants to lie about our daycare center, because he doesn't want to talk about the truth of his record. Here's the truth of his record. He was a legislator, folks. He was in the North Carolina legislature back in 2008. And in 2008, the Democrats had control of the House, they had control of the Senate, and they had the governor's mansion. Let me tell you what the state of North Carolina had. The state of North Carolina had a bill from the federal government to the tune of about $6 to $3 billion. That's how deeply in debt we were to the federal government. The state of North Carolina was dead broke. We did not have enough money to pay our state workers. We were having a furlough. Teachers' pay was in the midst of being frozen for 6 years because of the policies of Josh Stein and his Democratic buddies. Now, when's the last time you heard the liberal press talk about that? When was the last time he's been called out on that? The liberal press wants to talk about what I said on church and what I said in Facebook. Now, with what I said in church and what I said in Facebook, did that cause us to be in debt to the federal government? No. Did it cause us to furlough state workers because we were broke? No. They don't want to talk about the real issues. Because on the real issues, they lose. That's right. That's why they lie and besmirch. His record as Attorney General hasn't been any better, folks. As Attorney General, it has cost you, the taxpayers of this state, some $37 million in lawyer fees because the legislature has had to hire outside counsel to do the job that Josh Stein held his hand up and swore to do for you. See how this works? Bad legislator, horrible Attorney General, lying candidate, and would be a horrible governor. I didn't talk about any outside business that he had. I didn't talk about his personal life. I didn't talk about his tweets, his Facebook posts. I talked about his record. His record not serving you. His record not doing what he was supposed to do as a legislator, not doing what he's supposed to do as Attorney General. In our campaign, we've been talking about what we want to do for you and with you. What is it? We want to work on the substantive issues in this state to take us to the next great life. You see, it was Republicans that reversed the fortunes of this state. Republicans took over in 2010. 14 years later, where are we at right now? Under Republican leadership in the legislature. Not only are we not in debt to the federal government, not one dime, we have a $5 billion surplus. Where was the last time? 2 years running. Number 2 this year. Virginia got us. We're going to get that back. I promise you, folks. But, you know, they don't want to talk about those facts. Because Republican policy, we put principles inside of our policy. They yield the desired results. So what is our campaign going to be about that? That legislature has built a great groundwork. We're on firm financial footing in this state. Now is the time right now, folks, for us to strike out on the mission, the goal, to build an economy in this state that spans from Murphy to Manio. You know, when you were in Raleigh or Greensboro or Western or High Point, right here in the middle of the state, everything is great, guys. But head east, head west. So some people say there's no opportunity in those places. I say there's opportunity not taken advantage of. And we couldn't do it in the past. We were dead broke. We're not anymore. It's time for the state of North Carolina to start investing in all of its people everywhere. Now, look, the press will tell you what I said in church on October 9th, 2019. They can pull the quote up and pull it out. That's what he said. They said it right here. I showed you. I've said this so much, I'm blue in the face. The major goal in what I just said, that's the major goal of our economy. I've said that. When was the last time you heard that in the news? When was the last time they reported that? When was the last time they put out a story saying Mark Robinson wants to build an economy that spans from Murphy to Manio? What have they said?
They are.
Put them almost in the same category as you can put Josh down. When was the last time they said this? That our economy built on 5 pillars. And I've said this so much, I'm blue in the face. The economy is built on 5 pillars: public safety, public education, health care, housing, infrastructure. Why is that important when you're picking the governor? Because the governor appoints the people that are over those things. The governor appoints the person over the Department of Public Safety. The governor appoints the people who are on the state school board that write the standards that your locals follow. The governor appoints the person over DHHS, which is over health care. And the governor appoints the people over DOT and DEQ, which are agencies that are largely responsible for our housing industry and our infrastructure. The governor plays a crucial role in making sure that those agencies, number one, don't work for Republicans, don't work for Democrats, don't work for independents. They work for you. Working for the climate change cabal and carrying their water. They need to be making sure that those agencies are putting up guardrails and not barriers. They need to make sure that they're not being weaponized against you. And they need to make sure that they understand for every dollar they hold up out of that businessman's pocket, that's a dollar being held up out of his employee's pocket. That's another dollar being held up out of the revenue of this state. Our current governor isn't doing it, and I can assure you, Josh Stein won't. You'll be right down the line with the people who are financing this line campaigning this. You'll be right there with the climate change folks who will tell you, no, you can't do that. Sorry, you can't dig that hole on your property. Sorry. Oh, we'll get you your permit next year, maybe the year after. We can't have that. We cannot allow our state agencies to strangle us to death. They've got to be right. And the government plays a crucial role in that. Now, when you talk about education, real simple with education. Got to get agendas out of the classroom. CRT needs to be gone. TCI needs to be gone. We're education back. Teaching our children to read and write and do mathematics. The skills they need, history, civics, all those classes that make them great Americans. What's wrong with teaching our children to love America? I guarantee you the communist Chinese are teaching their children to be proud Chinese. I guarantee you that. Or just forget about that 100 million people we murdered back that day. Don't worry about that, kid. But be proud to be a Chinese communist. Well, they're teaching. But in our country, we're teaching our children to hate America. Garden spot of the world. Not a better place on the planet than this country right here. If it is, show it to me. What tickles me about people saying